So we have 4 more companies to hear from in our startup competition, and we're going to start with Openera and learn more about how to build a company without changing user behavior, but deliver a whole lot of value in the corporate enterprise. So please welcome Openera.
Thank you. Hi there. My name is Peter Lalonde, and I just want to make sure that that's actually showing. Great. My name is Peter Lalonde. I'm the founder of Openera. 80% of a company's important files aren't where they should be. I used to work for a company called OpenText. We sold content management. We realized that we thought our competitors were Microsoft or Oracle, but it turns out that our biggest competitor was our user. Because if they didn't put files into the content management system, how valuable can that content management system really be? So where are those files? Well, they're mostly buried in your inbox. They're also maybe messing up your desktop or invisible and hidden in your personal Dropbox accounts, which isn't good. So let's talk about email for a second. Email is still number 1. Email is where anything important in business happens. It still is number 1. So if you have to get a contract signed, if you have to get a proposal to a client, you're going to email it. So email is also in the center of a couple of big trends in the industry today. First of all, everyone's bringing their own devices to work, so they're accessing their email from multiple devices, multiple screens. On the other hand, you're also accessing your personal Dropboxes at work, and you're storing your company's information in your personal Dropboxes. And this causes a huge problem for companies. First of all, it's creating rogue data silos. That's a scary name for essentially saying that you've brought your own personal place to store stuff, and it shouldn't be there. They call it the Dropbox problem. This leads to another problem, which is perhaps bigger, which is you're not using the systems, the applications that these companies have spent millions of dollars implementing. And this is a huge control and compliance problem for companies. But what about you? You don't really care about how your company controls and complies to regulations. You just want to find stuff fast. So how are you as a user going to find things when all of your stuff is scattered across so many different places, including your inbox and all these different cloud services? So the Openera solution is to not change your user behavior, but let's take advantage of it. If you're already sending everything important by email, let's tap into your email system. Let's take those important attachments and put them where they're supposed to go. So that sales contract ends up in Salesforce.com, and it ends up assigned to the right opportunity and the right contact. Or maybe those photos from your vacation end up in your Flickr account or your Dropbox. Automatically do this, and we're able to do that because we have a powerful rules engine that intelligently monitors your email traffic and is looking for those important files and ignoring all the junk and put it where it should go the first time. So automation is amazing for companies. It's amazing because it automates control and compliance. It's great for you as a user because it automates the mundane. It means I don't have to do this. I don't want to have to share things, or rather save things to the right place. And it's amazing for our partners because we're automating adoption of their product. So we're putting stuff into Dropbox, we're putting stuff into SharePoint. Our partners are in a big, huge, and growing market, and we're going to market with them, not against them. We're working very closely with them. Specifically, Box today has put us up on their billboard on Highway 101 in San Francisco, because we add value to them. So we have a freemium SaaS business model, very straightforward. You have to try it. Please sign up today. There is competition, but most of our perceived competition is in the cloud aggregation space. We're in automation. That's our differentiator. We've already been moving a ton of files, and that's great, all this automation, the magic's happening in the background, but we need to give you a great way to find files. So you go to the web app, you find files across all your different cloud services. But wouldn't it be great to be able to find those files on your mobile device? It's really difficult to find anything on a mobile device. So Openera, you can find any file in 2 taps. So rather than searching across 5 different apps on your phone to find that file that's in the cloud, you search with Openera by tapping Invoices, Bell Canada. I just found the latest invoice from Bell Canada. So to summarize, we're going after a huge market with some amazing partners who love us because we're adding value to them. And we have a product that users love and don't want us to take away from them. So before I stop, One thing I want to ask you to do is just go to openera.net, sign up, try it, and tell people about it. Thank you.
So time for a quick question. Tell us, they're going to go, they're going to sign up, they're going to try it, they're going to tell people about it.
Yes.
How do they get to pay you money so you can be a big business?
Well, they can connect one email account to one cloud service, and that's free. So anyone could try it for free. But if they want to really get the value of the rules engine, which is connecting to multiple cloud services and taking it from multiple email accounts, then you can upgrade to a pro edition. The moment you want to start going into salesforce.com, which is really hard to get content into, by the way, that's where you get into the enterprise, and we're going after that bleeding of the neck problem that companies have, which is getting content into the systems that they've spent millions of dollars on.
Can't decide if I love or really hate the idea of a bleeding in the neck problem. I've heard you use that
I know.
before.
Well, everyone says you got to find the bleeding of the neck problem.
It's messy.
Yes, it is.
So the goal here, get individuals to try it, fall in love with it, and have
Correct.
them be the advocates to IT, or will we be also going into IT to have them try it?
We're going to be going after both, but really the idea is get users to love it and find that value. And because they're sharing files from within their app or their Openera, they're getting more and more people involved. So if they're working with their partners and their company, then it's a natural extension that they're going to sign up as well for Openera. And we'll know, and we see a lot of people within one organization, that, all right, there's a great target for us to go after.
Cool. Well, great. Well, congratulations. Good luck with the pressure bandage.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to it.
All right. So, I know a lot of you have pitched companies and done demos on stage, but it really is challenging to do this in 5 minutes. So thank you for all your warm support of these companies. I know our next presenter is a little bit nervous, so let's give her a big welcome. Okay, please welcome Rompr.
Bonjour, hello everybody. I'm Noah, and I'm really happy to be here presenting Rompr. So when I became a mom about 6 years ago, I discovered two things. One was that I was crazy busy, and two was that I desperately needed information. These are the three founders of Rompr. We're all here. We came from Israel. The three of us are parents, and the three of us are used to using web apps and mobile apps to make our lives easier and more fun. For example, obviously we have careers, so we use LinkedIn to keep track of it, and we're pretty happy with it. We have friends, and we use Facebook to keep track of our social lives, and we're pretty happy with that too. And we have kids, and we're super happy with our kids. Only we're not so happy with the kinds of online and mobile resources that are supposed to be helping us out, performing our roles as parents, which is the most important role in our lives. Because when you look at those websites, and I moved forward too fast, they kind of look like online forums and discussion boards and message boards from the 90s. Things haven't changed, information isn't personalized, and it's all very mom-centered. Dads are parents too. We felt we deserved better, so we started Rompr. What we say is really simple. Information that's helpful to parents usually comes from other parents. And those parents are willing to share it because parents like to share, and because young people today are conditioned almost to share everything on Facebook and Twitter. It's just that there is no cool place to share those bits and pieces of information that are related to parenting and that can help all other parents. And Rompr is going to be that cool place. Then I'm going to go through a short demo of the website. I'm going to go through a short demo. Somehow this doesn't work. OK, let's imagine I have a short demo of the website. You log in via Facebook, and you have a personalized list of recommendations that our algorithm, patent pending algorithm, compiles for you. So you don't have to search through long lists. We just show you what's really relevant to you and your family, what you're going to enjoy. Now, sharing on Rompr is really easy. It's not like writing a review on Yelp. It's much, much, much faster. You just post a few words, you post a photo, and it's done. And what we do in the background is add all the useful information that other parents might want to use. So like opening hours and address and phone number, etc. Now, with our mobile app, we have a strong focus on location. So I'm here with the kids. What do I do? What's fun around here? And again, we don't just show you, Google results. We show you personalized recommendations that we think you'll like, based on, of course, your location and kids' ages, but also what your friends have liked, what you've liked in the past, etc. So what do you do on Rompr right now? You share when you've done something fun with the kids or when you're planning to do something fun. You discover even more fun stuff to do. And you have fun because you get those great ideas and you don't waste time searching for information. And you keep memories because everything you post to Rompr is basically this fun moment that you had with your kids. And it's all there in your timeline to look back on and reflect and smile. And remember that you're an awesome parent. So who's already out there? Well, there are a lot of people out there. It's a very crowded space, you might say. You Google what to do with the kids on the weekend, and you've got a long list of resources. And in fact, information is duplicated across so many resources that it's wasteful in the curation of information, but more important for the moms and dads out there, it's totally inefficient to consume. We say this space is practically begging to be disrupted, and the only reason that it hasn't been is that the parenting market, it's not exactly considered sexy. We don't care about that. There are 50 million kids under 12 in the United States alone, and their parents spend a lot of money on leisure activities. And when they log into Rompr, that's what they're looking for. So we're going to be selling them tickets and deals, we're going to be showing sponsored recommendations, and we're going to be helping them out and make some money. Our website is in beta. We'd love for you all to join. You didn't see the demo, but you can come see it on our demo table. Our mobile app for iPhone is in alpha, and we're starting to raise a pre-seed round. And the future is bright. What we see Rompr being is a place that holds young people's parenting identities. We have LinkedIn for our career-related identities. We have Facebook for our social-related identities. It's time to create a place for who we are when we're with the kids. And this place is Rompr, and we'd love for you to join us. Thank you.
Good job. So you touched on this a little bit, but obviously 50 million kids in the US alone. How do you get to all those parents? How do you
so that's actually exactly our challenge. We're very tightly integrated with Facebook. So we've seen already from our alpha that drives a lot of traffic over to us, a lot of conversion also. But we definitely want to start focusing on one city, create a booming community there, and then grow after that, because it's impossible to target everybody all the time.
Cool. And what cities will you
So we started in Israel. We're going to be next focusing on the Bay Area, and now we're also focusing on Montreal, because we just fell in love with the city. So.
Excellent. Easy to do, easy to fall in love with Montreal. Congratulations.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
And
thank you, everybody.
Two great presentations yet to hear. The next one, our company Rocketr, we were discussing backstage. They are either a platform for ideation or a hot dog. I'll let you be the judge. Rocketr.
Well done. Yeah. There you go. Okay. Great. I'm Andrew, this is Travis, and we're Rocketr. And at Rocketr, we're betting on the convergence of two things that could not be further apart right now: how we gather information and how we get work done. So in the world of information gathering, there's all these things that we're going about collecting, these little inspirations, these interesting insights, bookmarks, and so on. And the tools we use to facilitate this, the Evernotes and the Instapapers, also happen to be some of our most siloed and disconnected applications. Over here in the world of getting things done, there's all the tools you'd expect to find to doing work in teams. But what tools are we using to move information from here into these workflows? Most people are hard-pressed to name any. We sort of just rely on the idea that the important bits of information are going to make their way from one into the other. But of course, it doesn't happen that way. So Rocketr exists right at that intersection, in a space we call ideation. To date, the only other tool that exists in this space is actually email. In fact, Rocketr was born out of trying to use the inbox to share ideas. A couple of us on the team used to work for a company called FreshBooks, and as it happens, I was asked to build a department around customer development. Like any new challenge, we were learning and discovering and iterating and testing and just pulling insights from everywhere, from the customers we were talking to the blog posts we were reading, even the events we were attending. And every time a light would go off, we'd send an email. Now, despite our best intentions, these insights, these ideas, they wouldn't go anywhere. We were leaving ourselves only two options. One was either action it immediately, or we were going to have to face doing multiple queries of our inbox the next time we wanted to come back to it. And the reason is because email orders our world by recency. The latest message is always the highest priority. And when you couple that with things like Inbox Zero, you've got this wonderful task management tool, but a terrible tool for ideation. Email was, in effect, killing our ideas prematurely. Now, if you map a scenario like that into Rocketr, we can see how changing the medium to a note changes the outcome. I'm going to write a note about how to position Rocketr here at Startup Festival in my presentation. I'm actually going to go ahead and drop that into a notebook I made for the festival, and I've got a few collaborators inside that notebook with me. I'm actually going to go ahead and add one more. Paul Graham, I think he might have some interesting insights on this one. So these are the people that can now interact with the note and add new notes to the notebook. So let's go in and edit this note. I'm actually going to go into focus mode here because I want a better experience. I also want to include this amazing video from Wilson Miner that I just saw. I thought it was an example of really good delivery. Now when I update that note, the video automatically embeds, and it's ready for all to see. Now I can receive all the feedback on this note through email notifications, which if I reply to directly can become the primary means by which I interact with notes. And when I'm out of the office, I can keep the conversation going from my iPhone. Everyone I've invited to the notebook can do the same thing. They can add new notes and interact with them. We can even share notes publicly on Twitter if you like. In Rocketr, all of the important pieces, all the important activity floats to the top, so I see when new notes have been updated or created. I can also sequence notes by popularity or what's gaining traction inside the notebook. And I can move seamlessly between notebooks, so from project to project or from team to team. As you can see, Rocketr is not just a junk drawer for information. We have enough archives in our lives already. It's actually a platform for people to connect around ideas. More than ever, our work is being driven through our personal devices. And as the consumerization of the enterprise continues to take place, people will gravitate towards tools that are lightweight, portable, and focused. So whether it's Evernote or Dropbox or Yammer, we're continually seeing companies, billion-dollar companies, that are trying to insert themselves into this workflow, and we're confident we can become that bridge between the information you collect and the teams you want to share it with. So whether it's the student and the educator, creative teams or startups, content producers like bloggers and journalists alike, or networked organizations like associations, event teams, or even the investors in their portfolio of companies here today, we want to enable people to co-create and collaborate even before a project exists. We want it to happen the moment a thought strikes. We think this is the future of creativity. We think this is ideation. Rocketr launches across web, iPhone, and iPad very shortly, actually, and I would encourage you all to go sign up for the beta. Thank you.
Okay, so decidedly not a hot dog.
Not a hot dog today.
Okay, love ideas like this, and during my tenure at Demo, saw a lot of products like that, in this sort of how do we get teams to work, collaborate, share together. Really tough challenge is always how do you drive adoption? What's your strategy for that?
Yeah, so we're coming to market as a consumer tool. Mostly these things don't get adoption because they're pushed top down through the organization. So it sort of comes with the mandate like, hey, we're going to start using this tomorrow, which never really works. It's got to be a personal tool because we're going to use it across all facets of our life, not just our 9-to-5 work team.
All right, well I think that's challenging. I'm hoping you're patient, because you think of a company like Evernote, and we look at them today as everyone's using it. Evernote launched about 12 years ago. It took them a long time to become an overnight success. I hope it takes you a lot less time to do that.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Great, Chris, thanks.
Thank you. So far in now this will be the 8th of our startup competition pitches, we've seen a lot of software, a lot of cloud services. This next company uniquely has a bit of hardware to share with you. Please welcome GasSmart.
How do I work the button, by the way? Welcome, Montreal. As you can guess, I'm the only entrant from the international part of Australia, which is down the other end of the world. Just to let you know, it does take 40 hours to get here, and on my time it's 3 a.m. in the morning, so you'll have to bear with me with whether I'm still awake at the end of this. It's where I come from is 11 months of the year is the weather the same as you've got in Montreal right now. So in our way of living with life, we have a lot of barbecues, and as I've learnt in just recently, we call gas LPG, you call it propane, so if I switch backwards and forwards, you'll have to pull me up on that because I've got my own language of which thing. And I do not speak a word of French, by the way. As with most things in life, I had a barbecue. Being engineers, I had the most embarrassing thing ever happen to me. My wife told me to check the gas bottle. She who must be obeyed got it right, I got it wrong. I spent the next few hours chasing all over the city for a gas bottle in order to have our barbecue, while my mates were sitting back relaxing and drinking all my beer. So it was an interesting way to come up with a problem that needed to be solved. And in most cases, if you've ever run out of gas yourself while you're having a barbecue, while you're cooking at home or at work, and more importantly, which has happened to me as well, if you've got a hot water service that runs on gas and you run out, in Australia it takes 3 days to get the delivery service. So again, 3 days of cold showers is not a good thing to have in the household. And for most people in the world who do have a gas bottle, they get told by the gas companies how much gas remains in your bottle. You go and look it up on the websites, and they give you all the same education. They actually ask you to pour boiling water over your gas bottle, which, I've seen it done, and it does hurt when you scar your fingers a few times. They ask you to tap the gas bottle and see how heavy it is. Again, I'm tone deaf, so tapping the bottle just makes me look silly. Strong enough to lift the gas bottle? Well, that works for the little ones, that's not so bad, because 20 kilos, you can lift it up and shake it around. 100 kilo gas bottle, I defy anyone in the room to lift one of those up and shake it around. And even more important, even when you do lift up the gas bottle, do you know how much time is remaining to use that particular amount of gas? Because everyone has a different way of determining how much time they have. So really, come on, can you really, in your own minds, really do it? Can you guess the weight of the gas that's raining? And what you're trying to do is at the end of it is work out how much time you have for using that particular amount of gas. And I do, even myself, I never get it right, so I would expect no one else to get it right. If you put up your hand and say, I get it right, I'll bet you $10 it's wrong. So the solution is, well, you can now because we've actually built a product that solves this particular problem. There's now no more guessing. We have a little device that is like a platform that the gas bottle sits on. It's about the size of a dinner plate. It has a little handheld controller that shows you the amount of gas, how much time remains, and you've got a button for a selection for a number of sizes of bottles. So from the smallest one you go camping to, right up to the 100 kilo bottles that you see everywhere in the world. So, pardon me, the first thing it works out is the weight of the remaining gas, irrespective of how much metal is in the gas tank itself or what it's made of. So it can be made of any metals or any plastic. It ignores all of those weights, so you're actually getting the real true value of the gas. From that, we determine from your particular rate of use, your time for using your gas bottle. So there's no getting it wrong. You will actually have down to the minute exactly how many minutes you've got left. And not only that, you only need to lift the gas bottle onto the platform once only for the remainder of the gas. For the larger bottles, you don't even have to lift it on. You actually just roll it onto the platform. So there's no more danger involved in strain backs and those sorts of things. So it's a real health and safety issue for some people. So there it is. GasSmart does have a solution. Our competitive advantage. This is a bit interesting because in the world at the moment there are no devices that calculate the remaining time.
We're going to be strict on our time limits, but I'll ask some questions and I'll let you get to the slides you missed. How's that?
Yes.
All right. So, because one of the things I think you're selling this, or you intend to sell this in retail channels, is that right?
Yeah. Yes. We sell it into shops and on the internet into Australia, and we'll be licensed to people elsewhere in the world.
And one of the things I remember is that there's a huge margin on this product. Is that correct?
We've changed our marketing strategy on that, mainly because we've now priced it so that we can sell it into China for volumes.
Okay, so what's the business look like in a couple of years?
We will probably be turning over between $50 and $100 million a year.
Not a bad business for running out of gas at the barbecue, yeah?
Yes, people don't realise there's actually 4 billion gas bottles in the world, and that's to do with domestic, commercial, medical and industrial gases. So there's 4 different separate markets, and we're only tackling one segment at this particular point in time.
Very good. And you're going to be demonstrating it? You're demonstrating here? Or are you going to
No. I'm just wandering around, and if you catch me, then I'm quite happy to speak to anybody who wants to know more about it.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. And the clock is a terrible thing because it keeps us on schedule, but it sometimes cuts us off.
No, they added more slides to me in the last 24 hours, so it's taken me a bit by surprise.
That's all right. Congratulations for the launch. Welcome here.
Thank you very much.
All right, Stephen, thanks. All right, I've been told I have to be a taskmaster, and I always hate to do that because it feels, my mother taught me not to interrupt people when they were talking, and yet that's my job here.